of the former dynastic Korean state that lost its independence in 1910. Both states see themselves as the sole legitimate heir of this historical state. Even when the two Koreas are viewed as a single country, as most Koreans do, it looks small on the map compared to its neighbors China and Russia. But it is a medium-sized country. The area that makes up the two Koreas today is 600 miles, 1,000 kilometers, from north to south, averaging about 120 miles, 200 kilometers in width. Its size and length are about the same as Great Britain, a little smaller and shorter than Italy. North Korea is slightly larger in area, 46,000 square miles, 122,000 square kilometers, compared to the 38,000 square miles, 99,000 square kilometers of South Korea. Most of Korea lies on a peninsula bordered on the north by China and a corner of Russia, and on three sides by the sea. While seas surrounding the peninsula make for a natural boundary, the northernmost part of the country has historically not been so well defined. Its current borders, formed 6 centuries ago, are delineated by Paektu Mountain, a 9,003-foot, 2,744-meter volcano, and the two rivers that flow from it, the Tumen River that heads northeast and empties into the East Sea, Sea of Japan, and the Yalu River that flows southwest to the Yellow Sea. Koreans have called themselves a shrimp among whales, meaning they are a small country surrounded by much bigger ones, China, Russia, Japan, and in the past great continental empires such as that of the Mongols. Today, Korea is bordered by China's northeast region of Manchuria, although through most of its history this region was not Chinese, but part of the steppe and forest lands of the northeast, home to some of the world's most formidable warrior peoples. However, China was close enough to be the inspiration for many of Korea's ideas about government, society, art, literature, and religion. To the southeast, the 115-mile, 185-kilometer Korea Strait separates the peninsula from the Japanese archipelago, just wide enough to make these very different lands, yet narrow enough to ensure frequent interaction. In fact, Korea has often been a bridge between the mainland and Japan. Over 3/4 of Korea is covered by mountains. The principal chain, the Taebek Range, covers most of the northeast and runs like a central spine along the eastern part of the country, with smaller ranges branching off it. The mountains are not high. Paektu is the highest, and the tallest in South Korea reaches only 6,388 feet, 1,947 meters. However, they are rugged enough to hamper trans-regional trade and communication. Cultivatable land is limited, yet is fertile, well-watered, and capable of high crop yields. The Northeast has long, severe winters, but the central and southern areas have shorter winters and a longer growing season. The seas around Korea are rich in fish, squid, and other ocean products. Therefore, although it is small and mountainous, Korea has been able to support large populations. Today, 50 million people live in South Korea and 25 million in North Korea. Chapter 1. Creating a Peninsular Kingdom. Koreans are fond of saying that they have 5,000 years of history, a rather arbitrary designation. If by Korean history what is meant is the story of a nation or a people who possessed a common cause of being Korean, then 5,000 years is far too long. The first state to occupy most of the peninsula did not appear until the 7th century CE, and it was centuries later before a shared identity among the inhabitants of the peninsula emerged. If, however, Korean history is understood to be the history of the people in what comprises the area of the two Koreas today, then it is far too short, for evidence of human activity in Korea dates back tens of thousands of years. The 5,000 years is based on the Tangun, the mythical founder of the first Korean state. According to the story first recorded in the 13th century, Tangun was the offspring of a celestial deity and a sheep.